Cada semana en el Antonio íbamos a Soledad, California, para hablar con las mujeres en acción. Comíamos, hablábamos, conocimos los niños y teníamos una relación muy bonita con las mujeres. Hablábamos sobre temas importantes en nuestras vidas, por ejemplo, educación, familia, comida, la ley, políticos y nuestros sueños y esperos.
¿Por qué es esto interesante para nosotros como estudiantes de la gestión educación internacional? Primero, esto como diseño por un estudiante de IAM quiso comprometerse en comunicación intercultural con un foco educativo. Este tipo de programa puede ser utilizado en muchos aspectos de educación internacional. Si esto es para estudiantes internacionales estudiando en los Estados Unidos, para estudiantes americanos estudiando en el extranjero, o para maestras internacionales quien quiere comprometerse la gente distinta en sus propias comunidades.
Good. So when we arrived, like the first time you saw us, what did you think?
Really, I think I can speak with them, and I didn't believe in my English.
How has that changed? How do you feel now?
I feel more comfortable to speak with you, and when I go to my appointments doctor with my kids, or like this week I was have conferences for my kids, and I speak with the teacher because the teacher don't have help to translate me.
Okay.
And I can speak my English. Yes, I can try my English.
I can practice my English with the other people who knows or who has a very good English, and I can practice with them, and when I talk with them, they make me feel comfortable in the program.
Yeah, I loved the class. It was definitely one of my favorites. The tandem relationship was definitely more than me trying to sit down and teach someone English. It was a partnership where we got to speak our own native language and our target languages and build from that and help each other out, but it wasn't too much pressure on either part of the partner. So I really enjoyed that. And learning about their culture was one of the highlights for me in this program, because you can only learn so much through textbooks and through someone telling you about their culture, but actually experiencing the food they make and dancing with them and speaking with their children and hearing their opinions about their daily life and how they think life is in California took language learning and culture learning to a new level for me.
So originally, kind of the impetus for it was my first semester. I had a Spanish course with Gabrielle, and over the J term, I wanted to find opportunities to keep practicing in the community. I didn't necessarily want to go for a long immersion trip to Latin America and pay a lot of money, so I was asking him about opportunities, and then we just kind of started brainstorming, and his background is in tandem learning, and that kind of sparked this idea of finding opportunities locally. And then, so I followed through on that, and then that summer I kind of really investigated it and started calling around to different nonprofits and organizations in the area, and eventually got connected with the Mujeres en Acción group. It's like, why not? We're the quote language capital of the world, so why don't we practice that? You know, we don't have to travel thousands of miles away to have intercultural experiences and to, learn from each other.
Kind of like studying abroad without leaving. Like, you're immersing into this whole new culture that's, possibly right in your backyard, and you get to see such differences that, people in America have.
Sitting out on the outside, I can just sit back and look, and I look around at all the different partners talking, and you can just see, how engaged people are. People are laughing, people are sighing, they're just really focused on each other, and and it's like it's all, you know, the facilitator almost doesn't need to be there, and that's a really beautiful moment.
Es muy interesante participar en un clase que fue creado por un estudiante con la misma educación en MIS. Los temas de diseño y evaluación que aprendimos en nuestras clases tuve en acción en nuestra clase de español este semestre.
La relación y conexión entre lengua, educación y trabajo es una parte grande de nuestras clases en gestión educativa internacional. El tema es muy interesante a nosotros y fue fascinante mirar estudiantes a las mujeres interactuar y hablar sobre estos temas cada semana. Aprendimos mucho sobre la educación y trabajo de las mujeres y entre las reflexiones en nuestra tarea, nosotros también.
Seeing the link for the women learning English and how important that is and vital it is to succeed working in the U.S. was really interesting. That was a major theme I saw throughout every class with them. Is that
I think it's like this. If I keep me learning, not only my English like second language, no. If I still learning in school, like now I am learning to get my GED diploma.
Yeah.
And that's why I say if you can keep learning your language, like me is my second language English, and I can still learning in school my basics, I will go better.
So why is language important? For us as students at MIS, the ability to learn a language and to know a language is a requirement for every major. For the women that we're working with, the women in action, it's important for them in the context of their community. It's important for them in their household. In particular, a lot of the women that we worked with said that they wanted to be able to help their children with homework. They wanted to be able to speak with their teachers, and they want to be more involved within their communities in both Spanish and English settings. But also we got away from just learning the language as part of a class requirement. One of the things that was important for both of us with working in tandem was the relationships that we were able to build with our compañeras and everyone who was involved in the program.
For us as international education management students, this class was an incredible opportunity to see what we learn every week in class in action as us to participate in. And it was very inspiring to see something that actually was effective and useful and fun for us as participants.
And I think, going off of that, the ability to take this program and transplant it into other settings, again, also ties in the things that we learned in the International Education Management program.
Their potential in your practicum. You're going to Spain to work for a education abroad organization entirely in Spanish. Do you think that there's potential to use something from this class in your future work?
Oh, absolutely. I've actually, for one of my deliverables, proposed a tandem learning program because they were thinking of ways on how the school there and the international students could engage more with the community, and but do so in an ethical and sustainable way. So not just having students go in the community and volunteering at some sort of foundation for one day and thinking that they've made a huge impact, but actually working with the community to develop relationships. But this class has inspired me to look more into it, and even in future projects when I return home as well.
It's pretty awesome that we've gotten this far, you know, just kind of from this small seed of, you know, what if we took the classroom into the community, and it's turned into, you know, a year later, it's a, you know, course you can register for, you know, student travel every week out there.
I think the ability to take what we've learned in this program and use it in the future in our professional lives really ties in the concept of intercultural competency that we've learned in our classes, how important it is to be able to understand another person and what they're going through, but also the ability to communicate, to ask those questions, and to build that relationship that we were able to establish.
1, 2, 3, Tandem!